So it's really late. It's 2:46 a.m. right now, and I initially wanted to make a video about how to stop overthinking to get really deep into the topic, and I don't think I have time for that. But anyways, what am I going to say in this video? I don't know really. What was I going to talk about? I can't even remember. Let me think. Hmm. Well, it has something to do with nervousness and overthinking. Overthinking and, in a way, being stressed or nervous or predisposed about something in your life, which happens a lot to many people in many ways, not just in when it comes to being preoccupied about something. What happens is we tend to think a lot about a certain situation. What is nervousness really? I recently watched a video about Joe Rogan talking about how the smartest fighters or the smarter fighters um, are really nervous at times, like before a fight, and they have all the right to. This is milk, by the way. And it's the dumber fighters that are not nervous. Why this happens is because when you are dumb enough, like when you're dumb, you think you're smart and you think you have it all figured out, right? But when you're smart, you really have a good consciousness about all the variables, about all the possibilities. And that's why you are, and because of course you're afraid of them, you're calculating how, like consciously or subconsciously, your brain is attempting to calculate what's the best course of action, because how you act is the only thing you can control, partly, which is going to, in variable degree, change what the outcome actually ends up being, you know? I hope you understood that because it's really not that complicated. And I know I'm horrible at explaining myself. But anyways, yeah, you might be overthinking, but that doesn't mean you're smart. You know, this talking about this really brings me to something else, like another topic that is, you could say, perhaps slightly correlated. And it's that happiness is rare in the smartest people. And I would argue, not because I'm smart in any way, I do not think I'm smart. I don't know if I'm smart. I would really like to find out, not just if I'm smart or not, but how I can really be the smartest person I can potentially be. But anyways, because a lot of people throughout my life have said that, well, I'm brilliant and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter. That's another topic for another video. Um, with happiness in intelligent people, I will argue that if you are unhappy because you understand the world in a way that people don't, I would argue that no, you need more intelligence to realize that it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you might understand the world is fucked beyond repair, or some of your analysis of the world that you might have um, done within your own head, and not necessarily basing yourself off of actual information about the world. Some of those assumptions that you might have made or conclusions about the world might lead you. Sorry, I'm speaking Spanish. Might lead you to being having that perception of the world, and therefore leading you to being depressed about it. I don't know, that's just one way to put it. And yeah, um, in that case, if you were the smart person, and you have already given it a lot of thought, I would probably tell you if I was your friend, I would tell you no, you need to think about it a little bit more because then you would realize, well, not really, because if you keep thinking about it, you wouldn't necessarily realize that. But I would tell you that, bro, you need to be even smarter to realize that it doesn't really matter and it doesn't. You know, it's hard to explain. Like the questions that I've been asking myself in previous videos, um, it's really just why does it matter anyway? Like you got to be smart to ask yourself that, and you can also ask yourself that as a that person. But anyways, going back to that topic of nervousness, you might be nervous because you're overthinking the possible outcomes and um, the best courses of action to take, regardless if it's with your knowledge or not, regardless if you're aware of the fact that your brain is doing that, or if you're not. Exactly. So, but maybe you need to be not even smarter, but wiser as to know that, as to realize, like I said in the previous video, that you are an imperfect being which lives in an imperfect universe. Like even mathematically, you won't get to a perfect answer. It's impossible. You're imperfect, and you are in an imperfect environment, which then, like, you don't have the ability to find the perfect answer, and you live within an environment that won't give you one. So stop thinking about it. That's the best thing you can do. Seriously, it's the best thing you can do is to stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about um, what is the best course of action to take. And even if you think that, oh no, that's not what I'm doing, that's not what I'm thinking about, it kind of is, kind of. And I'm not. You saw that expression that I did with my face. It's not that I'm being arrogant or that I'm being condescending to you. The thing is that, come on, not really. Is that kind of expression? I don't like being arrogant or condescending towards other people. Um, so yeah, you might be smart, but you need wisdom to balance it out. Because if you're too smart and you're unwise, that is what will end up happening to you. You will end up overthinking things. And if you're dumb, you can't really be wise because wisdom is slightly correlated with intelligence. It's obviously. So this wouldn't happen to you. Like whatever I shouldn't say this because this is only a thought that crossed my mind, and it's not something that I explained in the video. But for example, in a case where you are wise but unintelligent, like that doesn't happen. You have to be somewhat intelligent to be wise. So that is what I mean. That wouldn't happen. Um, so yeah, it's 2:54 right now. It's 22nd of March 2024, Dominican Republic, Santiago, and my apartment building or apartment complex. I don't know how you call that, but anyways. Um, so yeah, like I already said, if you're dumb, you probably would assume that you already have everything figured out because there's even been studies. I watched a video about it today, about that prove that people on the more unintelligent side consider themselves as more intelligent, and the people on the more intelligent side consider themselves as more unintelligent. And yeah, makes you think, right? It makes you look at the world and eventually realize that it's true. The stupidest people think they're the smartest. But let's not dive too deep into that topic. Let's go back to what I wanted to tell you. You don't even need to be wise enough. to get to that conclusion of it doesn't matter really. You just need to be smart enough to understand why it's true, the fact that it doesn't matter. Um, what matters is what ends up happening, and what will end up happening will end up happening. You know, talking about what can potentially happen in any situation that you might be nervous about really brings me back to that which I read. Not a whole book. I don't read that much. I should, but I heard recently, well, not heard, but I saw um, these laws of life. They were called Murphy's laws, and one of them was that anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and the worst thing that can happen is the one that will happen. It's like, you sure about that? Because like I think I heard once that there's a guy that prevented World War III some decades ago. So come on, it's maybe that guy was just, you know, a little depressed about life when he said those things. Maybe not. Maybe that guy was wrong. I don't know. But maybe he was wrong. Maybe things don't really work in the way that he imagined or the way that he stated in those quotes. Maybe not. Because you can probably even have examples of your own life in which you thought that well, definitely you do. Like even if you were like really young, like, you do have examples of times in your life where you thought that something was going to go horribly wrong and it didn't, and you overthought about it, and it really fucked with your mind. I've said this. I've shared this thought with some people, and I will share it with you now on camera. And it's not well established, well constructed, well enough to be a law, you know. But I have noticed about life that this happens pretty often, and it's that I don't know if in the end, but definitely in the moment, you overthinking something, you being predisposed as to an event or as to an outcome of certain event can hurt more than that bad outcome actually happening. It's like, for example, let's put this example, even though it might not be the best, but it's the one I've come up with right now. Is for example, like if you are about to head home and you did something wrong and your mom's gonna give you an ass whooping, like overthinking about that, like if it's I don't know, like a 1.5 hour ride, you thinking about the whole ride, like shit, they're gonna kill me. It's even worse than you just getting there and it happens. And the reason why this is not a law yet is because you could argue that, oh no, like that actually happened to you without happening to you, something happening to you, not the ass whooping, like whatever other example you have in mind, like an accident in a hiking trip or something. It actually happening can leave you with trauma or PTSD, whatever the fuck people call it nowadays. It can leave you. It can be even worse than you being predisposed about it because if you expect it, then exactly you expected it. So yeah, but in some cases, I would believe that it does more damage to overthink something than for it to actually happen. I don't know why I'm leading with this now, with this that I'm about to say, but it's something that I had to mention. Is that recently in two presentations that I did at my school, two different ones, in completely different times and and contexts and obviously subjects as well. Something that really helped me not to be stressed at the moment of walking up and doing it is simply not thinking about it. If I can do it, you can probably do it. Like, come on, I'm not a superhuman. Like sometimes I believe that, oh, I have certain thoughts that other people don't have, and I still do believe that. But some things can lead me to believe that you're also capable of that. Because if I did it, why can't you? It's just like to train that ability of not thinking about something and therefore not being worried about anything. Because if it happens, it happens, whatever. Okay, if you fuck up a little bit, just keep going. I should talk about what happened in those presentations. Is that I I really just and that is just one way in which in which not thinking about things can help you. But I really in those two presentations, I was really inspired by Sean Strickland. Nothing to do with making a presentation. Yeah, I know. He's a fighter. I really like his style. Not of fighting. Not that I dislike his style of fighting, but I do really like his style of talking, of thinking. He doesn't give a fuck about anything. He's really honest, not just with what he says, but with himself. Like he knows he's an imperfect being, and he says it all the time, in many ways, in different ways, and he's honest about it. And while I was in those two presentations, in which I had no preparation for them, but they were arguably the best I had ever given. Especially, I would say one of them, because that's just something in this book. I would believe that is the best way that I can give a presentation is by not thinking about everything and being honest with yourself. Like even in the presentation, you you make self-deprecating jokes about yourself, and you're brutally honest with what's happening at the moment. That it's we're having some technical difficulties with the vocabulary. Um, I really don't know how to make a proper example of that so that you can understand it. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm saying that I need to explain myself better. But yeah, just it's hard to explain. It really is. But for at least one moment in your life, or in whatever situation comes up next, stop thinking. Don't think about it. Just don't, because you won't gain anything. The thing is, like I already said, you're an imperfect being living in an imperfect universe. So you're not going to get to a perfect answer. And that is what, with overthinking, you might not realize it, or you might not admit it, or accept it, or see it like that. But what you're really trying to do with overthinking things is you're trying to get to a perfect answer. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to find a solution, a way out of that situation. You're trying to find the formula, but there is no formula. You know, you're trying. The thing is, you're trying to find a definitive answer because you might already have some that don't work 100% well because you don't because the situation is not that simple. And I get it, man. Like, yeah, it's not. I know. Yeah, just try it. Just try it. Just stop thinking about it. Stop thinking, period. And just flow. Understand. You're human and you're gonna fail. You can't be flawless, but you can be extraordinary. People say that confidence comes from competence. You become confident by that knowing that you know what you're doing. Fuck 20 minutes. That's too much. Um, but yeah, confidence can also come from worrylessness, not being. um, worried about anything, not being so, I don't know if frightened is the right word to use, but yeah, not being so bothered by things, being relaxed, because you know that what is this really? Like, bro, you live in the universe, dude. You're nothing to the universe. Like, you're just this minute thing, and you're gonna fucking die one day. So, like, bro, why think about it so much? Like, just do it. Just live and do your best. That's it, man. That's all you should worry about. I think the real reward of life, it's not the accomplishment, but the experience throughout. That's what the true goal is. And you can't live if you're overthinking all the time. So stop overthinking and start living. It's not that easy, I know, but it's possible, and you can do it. This was a horrible video, bro. God damn, my speech in this video was fucking Jesus. Even if I become successful, this is one of the videos with less views that I'm gonna have. Like, fuck. My way of speaking in it today was fucking horrible. I'm probably gonna make one in the afternoon because I have lots to talk about, and it's really not that hard to be consistent, even with push-ups, which is I know it's like what the fuck I already like, just do it, you know. But something that I realized with video making and push-ups is that I had a mental barrier because I was overthinking about not overthinking in that way, in the way that you would expect, but overthinking like, oh, what's gonna happen? I'm probably not gonna like it. Probably gonna be bored. You know, that is a hell of a topic that I should talk about. Like, why we procrastinate. By the way, the video's over already. But yeah, I do want to talk about that, like why we procrastinate. And maybe I already have done that, but anyways, um, it's basically just because you have predisposed or predetermined thoughts about and how you think. Wait, no. It's because you think that the sacrifice you're going to make for being productive and doing what you're supposed to is gonna be bad. You know, fuck, man. It's like I'm drunk. Maybe it's because I'm tired that I cannot fucking explain myself well. But damn, I should attempt to make a video in the morning where my brain power is at the best, and maybe I could be able to fucking talk. But yeah, like I said, it's 3:09 right now. Um, and yeah, it's really not that hard to be consistent. Just fucking do it, man. It's not hard. Just do it. Do those push-ups. Do the video. Do your fucking homework. You know, just saying that to myself. And have a great fucking day, whoever watched this, no matter what time it is. Have a great rest of your day, even if there's seconds left for it to finish. Well, yeah. I wish the best for you, viewer, and thank you if you've got to this point. But wait, you could have also just skipped to the end, so I don't know if you watched the whole thing. Anyways, goodbye.